Okay, today I'm going to start to talk to you about linking Microsoft SQL Server 2005 to Access 2007. Linking an Access database to an SQL server. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to log in a user I've already created. Um, and I'm going to show you the database we want to access, which is Access 7. So we will view the table, database student. We will look to open the table and show you the information that we have inside: student ID, first name, last name, contact number, and cost. So what we're going to do is try to link it to Access. The first thing on a practical note is that you should do is security. You need a login because you don't want any and everybody accessing your information. But since I've already created a login, I'll show you how to create it again. So let's create one. Say my first login is client server, so I'll name it client server 2. What we're using is SQL Server authentication because we don't want to have anyone who accesses the PC, that's Windows authentication, to have access to our SQL server and our database. So we'll give him a password, which will be password. We don't want to enforce any password policies, so we wouldn't be using that. What we do want is to have him access 7. So after that, we would need to map this user. So we would map this user to Access 7. So you would notice it called client server 2, but we're leaving this as public access so that you can access it from any PC on the network. So, and then we press OK, so that we now have a new user, which is client server 2. But what you need to make sure is that you are the administrator of the SQL database to add a new user. But now we need to access the information from Microsoft Access, so we need to create an Access database. But before we do that, is the difficult part. We need to create a link between these two databases, the SQL Server and Microsoft Access. So what we need to go is our control panel. We need to locate our administrative tools. So we look for ODBC data source. We must be the administrator on the system to add this also, and we add a link. So we're using the SQL server. We'll click finish. We name it, so we name it client server 2. This is not the username, this is just the name of our data source so that we can define it. Or we should really name it client access, so we can distinguish it from other sources. We need to locate our server, so if it doesn't pop up in the drop down box, we could type it in and press next. From here, we still do not want Windows authentication. We need it to access from Access. That sounds redundant, but to access the SQL server from Access 2007 using a username, so client server 2, and his password or her password, as the user might indicate. Failed login just now, hold on. Okay, well, I'll be using client server 3 because client server 2 was given some problems. So none of the other settings I've set has changed. Same for client server 3. So we'd go next, and we would realize that the default database is the same one we want to use, which is Access 7. So if that wasn't, we could change it as well. We go next. We make sure that it's using the regional settings for currency, numbers, and dates. Well, even times also. So we go finish. So we test our data source, but make sure that if English wasn't your language, you can also change it here. Change the SQL system language or messages. So we test our data source. It's tested. Test complete successfully. So we press OK. Press OK. And we are finished now. So we have now created our new name. So we press OK and we come out. So now is to access this information. We create another database, which would be client. Let's name it client 2, just in case we have a client database. We press create. This table would not be needed, so we close it and we go to external data. We go to more ODBC database. We go to the link data source by creating a link table and press OK. They'll ask us to choose our link. So we look for the one that we created, client access, or is it? So client access, we press OK. We enter the password and gain access to the information that is inside of this server. So what we are looking for is our database that we have linked to it. One thing we missed, we need to go back and map this permissions to this database from the SQL server. So let me do that quickly. We go into our SQL, we look for the database we need, we go into its properties, and we grant permissions to client server 3. So we grant him these rights to update the database, to select it, and any other permissions we see fit to grant him, like insert, execute, not delete. We don't want anyone deleting but what we know about, so he can connect, cannot control, but whatever permissions you as the administrator see fit to grant this user, you can give him or her. So with this, press OK, and this user is saved. So we go back to access and we go through the same process. We use the link that we've created, client access, password, and there we have database student. Let's press OK and it should appear the information that we wanted. So this is a successful link. So what we can do for users who are not as computer savvy as administrators, we create a form for them. But to create a form, you would need to view one of the other videos that deals with creating a form, but I can show you how it would look as the end product. Since I've already created a form, I will show you this form. So what you can do with this form is you could go to the end record from the same database that we are pulling from the SQL server. We could go to the first, the next, or we can even search a record. So if we wanted a record which starts with BL, we can have it, and we could even add a new record. So let's go to a number that we have not used yet, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. That would be our student ID. We'll give a first name of client server 3, contact number 7 digits. We would give him a fee of 2200. So we enter, and this information should be in our SQL database. So we could go back to the database, open the table, and ensure that client server 3 surname, client, his ID number, contact number, and the value that we give him is entered into the SQL Server. So that should be the link. I thank you for watching.